leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Christian Coffins.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest.
Frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest.
Welcome to the March 5th, 2025, Wednesday edition of the DarkDox Digest with your host, Christian Coffins.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox
Digest.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you guys are enjoying your sushi day. I enjoy my sushi day. If you don't know what I'm talking about, here in Florida, Publix has buy one, get one sushi rolls. Not buy one, get one, they're $5. But usually they're like 10, so it's pretty much like buy one, get one. So I get 2 sushi rolls on Wednesdays. And, something about, and I can't use the chopsticks that they give you. I actually ordered, they're not very expensive, but I got some like stainless steel ones. It's a texture thing. And it's so much nicer with good metal chopsticks. They have like little dragons on them and shit. They're only like $8 on Amazon or whatever. And you have to have a ceramic dish. It also has a dragon on it. And something about that stainless steel rubbing against that china, which is funny because sushi's Japanese. And you got to get the wasabi. Then you got to mix it with the soy sauce and just make that perfect little green, cloudy, black sauce. Makes me happy. We got a lot to cover today. So today's episode is called Mandate because I think a lot of people have a misunderstanding about what that word means. So I took it upon myself to dig in. You can get the show notes for these shows that we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at darkdox.me and darkdox.com. It's the same websites. Also, I highly suggest checking out yesterday's episode, Accountability, where it has the entire Trump speech. And then we did an episode, and then we were hanging out with Infowars. Well, they were on the green screen. I'm here in Orlando. And then we watched the entire Trump speech. So it's almost 3 hours long. Accountability. Also, Monday's episode it was definitely missed by quite a few because it just seems like no one wanted to come watch on Monday, which I get it. It's Monday. But it was a great episode. It was 33, so it was Magic 33, and we got into all the 33 stuff because there's a lot of it. So, a mandate, an official order or commission to do something, an authority to carry out by a policy or a course of action regarded as given by an electorate to a candidate or a party that is victorious in an election. So, literally what's going on with Trump, he was elected by an electorate and he ran on these issues, and it would be hypocritical but very common in American history. To have a candidate that will say one thing on the campaign trail and then do something else once they get into the Oval Office. However, this time is different. He has a mandate specifically for the issues that he's been tackling, and he's been delivering. So far, so good. Nothing's perfect, of course. We need those Epstein documents, and Hunter probably needs to go to jail. His dad too, and the Clintons. And we got a lot of people freaking out, and they're saying all kinds of stuff that's against the law. And we need to enforce the law in order to show them that we're not fucking around. But Stephen A. Smith, I think, had a pretty good comeback on The View when they were talking about what a mandate is. Let's watch.
Oh, Trump's only been in office for 6 weeks. Seems like 6 years, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And he's been going around with his cronies touting his so-called landslide and blowout win. But he won the popular vote by 1.5%, one of the smallest ever, and he won the general election by less than 50%. So what kind of mandate is this really?
Well, it is a mandate, and I'm going to explain why. And I don't mind the question, but let me be very clear. I'm no supporter of Trump. I'm a supporter of truth and the facts. And here's the facts. The man won every swing state. He increased in terms of his voter turnout in his favor from the standpoint of blacks, Latinos, and young voters. He increased his numbers in that regard from 2020. 89% of the counties shifted to the right. That's a mandate. We can sit up there and play around all we want to. In 2020, Trump didn't win the popular vote. He didn't win the electoral college vote. A matter of fact, the Republicans hadn't won the popular vote, if I remember correctly, since 2004. Yeah. But they did this year. So 20 years after they last won the popular vote, they won the popular vote. They won the electoral college vote. The man won every swing state. And on top of it all, 89% of the counties shifted against. I don't understand how people can look at that and say, there's no mandate. There's a mandate.
Well, it's a different definition of a mandate, I guess.
But the problem is that if you're the Democratic Party and you lost 49.8% to...
All right, so that's where I had to chime in. I guess we have different definitions of what a mandate is. No. Democrats, you're done, okay? You can't keep, when I'm wrong, I can just create a new definition for it so that way, math is racist. So if I get the answer wrong, I can just say math is racist and 2 + 2 = 5. You see where we're going with this? You can't come up with new definitions. I just read the definition. It's agreed upon. And that's it. Merriam-Webster likes to fuck around and, have a little, now this word means this. And it's like, no. We're not rewriting history here. We need to stop this.
48.3%, and you're looking at that 1.5% dip. That's an excuse for you to say, what we did really wasn't that bad.
Some people didn't
we should continue to do that. Don't continue to do it. Find a new strategy.
But do you think those groups, the black voters, the Latino voters, and the others that you mentioned, are they going to regret it soon?
Possibly.
Always about race.
I don't like what I'm seeing from Trump. I didn't like what I saw with Zelensky. I didn't like what I saw with a few things. But in the end,
Zelensky.
I didn't like it. But
again, all these Democrats know how to do is bring up race. What are the Latinos and the blacks going to do, black guy? Because you're our black guy, so we need to know what the blacks are going to do because, all you blacks think alike because that's what we think because we're racist.
But in the end, what it comes down to is this. The American people, in their eyes, it wasn't about him. They were voting against what the Democrats were throwing in their direction. I don't only talk to Cuomo. I did interview Eric Adams. I did interview Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. I interviewed these people. I've talked to them, and I'm going to talk to some more of them, too. And I'm going to say the same message. What are you doing to win? I love Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland. I love John Kerry of Pennsylvania, okay? I just interviewed Cuomo. I like him a lot. I want somebody to step up and recognize that man in the Oval Office, whether you like it or not, is potent. He's coming and he wins. You got to find a way to beat him. This way is not the way that the Democrats have been doing it.
Let's talk about how people are feeling about his performance, because a CNN poll this week found that 52% of people
CNN poll
Trump's performance in office so far.
That's another thing. You can't be using CNN polls for any sort of pulse on what the country is feeling. In the same way that you can't just, this Fox News poll, those are two, you might as well have MSNBC and Infowars, there needs to be kind of we looked at it several polls and the averages show, but again, this is The View, so what do you expect?
So even though he may have won the general election by less than 50%, 52% disapprove of what he's doing.
Okay.
We're also seeing Republican voters at town halls opposing his executive overreach, giving Elon Musk the shadow presidency. Yet you said, quote, Trump is closer to normal than...
Giving Elon a shadow presidency. Like, she says these things as, like, matter of fact, and that really bothers me.
what we're seeing on the left.
Yeah, I was talking about why he won the
How
election.
so?
When I made that statement, I was talking about that was before the election.
I see.
Right.
Okay.
So when during the election, I said in the immediate aftermath of the election, I pointed out he was voted for because they considered him closer to normal than what the Democrats were spewing. That was what I said at that particular moment in time. Now, obviously, Elon Musk is an entirely different matter altogether.
Right.
This man is not an elected official. He
No,
hasn't been
and
confirmed by the
yet-
Senate or anything. But he's got an inordinate amount of power.
Given to him by Trump.
I can understand how that could scare the living daylights out of folks, and the approval ratings. Obviously, we pay attention to that. But here's the bigger question. Who on the Democratic side are the American people pointing to and saying that's the person?
We'll see.
Well,
They don't have anybody
We'll
yet.
see.
Well,
They have
we're
plenty.
6 weeks in with you know who.
National Voice.
Right.
We're 6 weeks in with you
Leader
know who.
Jeffries.
Everybody said let him do what he's doing so we can see what's going on. So, and now people are saying, well, what are you going to do as a Democrat? Well, wait a minute now. Y'all didn't want to hear what we had to say as Democrats because that wasn't what people voted
That's
for.
true.
So now we have a clear definition, and the American people will decide how they like what he's doing because now it's affecting in a way that people were not anticipating. People who didn't think they would be affected, like the folks who work in the federal government, they never saw this coming.
And
They
people can't
never
make
saw this
omelets
coming. Sorry
anymore.
about
That's right.
people can make omelets. Everybody doesn't eat eggs.
Yeah.
Not a fan, but I like chickens. But I'm not a fan of eggs for the mouth. Anyway, our thanks to Stephen A. Smith. Be sure to
She ain't cute. And yeah, so as you can see from our cover photo, I'm having some fun with their little signs. So now I have a good. This woman just scares the shit out of me, dude. Look at that face. Wow. If you're on X, we're Sacred Owls Unite. So follow us. Why don't you? And yeah, this woman's so off base. I think she's a congresswoman.
I was really stunned that the election was fought over the cost of living, and people, families who live paycheck to paycheck, concerned about whether or not they were going to be able to pay their bills, be able to pay for their health care, in some cases even putting food on the table. And the address tonight didn't address any of those issues about cost of living and the fact that people live paycheck to paycheck and what.
Yes, he did. He talked about, the cost of eggs and how the last administration culled a bunch of eggs, and we're trying to bring that down. We're trying to bring manufacturing back to the United States, which is going to make industries boom, create jobs, lower the price of cars because you don't have to ship them over because they're being manufactured here. I mean, it goes on and on. Drilling over here, the mineral deals with Ukraine and Russia. I mean, it goes on. This is a businessman doing business deals where they're talking about ending federal income tax and replacing it with tariffs. And then, of course, there's the Doge dividend that's going to be putting money in taxpayers' pockets that was stolen from us by your people, by the way, for circumcisions and, countries you can't even pronounce. So what are you talking about, lady?
What we ought to be doing in the Congress is to make sure that we are helping people to secure an economic future for themselves and their families. Vengeful, revengeful, and instead of lifting the hopes and the aspirations of people of the United States, of how we move forward as a
Lifting the spirits like, I don't know, deputizing for the Secret Service a child that had 13 brain surgeries, having Lake and Riley's family there and honoring them for the raping and killing of their daughter by an illegal immigrant, And, you know, they have the Lake and Riley Act now. Okay. I mean, and also, like, why does she look like a lady that feeds pigeons in Central Park? Like, what is this outfit? What is this hair? How are you a congresswoman?
The great nation that we are, what the vision for our future was. It devolved.
And yeah, like everyone's, you know, who told the Democrats it was going to be cool to have one of those microphones? You gotta get one of these. They change colors. You can't see it because it's off camera. But I like these mics. Those are retarded. They sound like shit too.
Just vindictiveness and self-adulation on behalf of Donald Trump.
They got your self-adulation right here, lady.
The issue of unchecked billionaires like his friend, ally, and Elon Musk. It was not a speech befitting.
She can't even say Elon.
A great world leader or a great president of the.
Very sad. Very sad. These people. She's a congresswoman. Can you believe it? TikToker call on someone to kill Trump. I mean, these go on, and we're DarkDox, so we're gonna dox each and every one of these people because this is a crime.
I fear somebody's got to do it and get it done quickly. Somebody's got to do it. And we need to set up a GoFundMe for whoever does it to make sure they have the absolute best commissary in there. Top-notch noodles. Top-notch deodorant and shampoo.
The fuck? It's funny, if you watch all of these, it's almost like a script. They're very similar, which is even eerier.
And hypothetically, if you don't make it after you do it, your kids'
Hello, Eve Baxter.
Will go to the top universities with that GoFundMe we'll set up for you. But somebody's got to do it and get it done quickly. I fear somebody's got to do it and get it done quickly.
They all have the Democrat eyes. Notice that? They're all like, somebody's got to kill Trump. Somebody's got to do it. Get him, Chris Hansen. That face. Ugh.
Somebody's got to do it.
Arrest that bitch. Let's get out of the Black House. Hold tight. Let's see what the Doge is doing.
I've always promised you I was going to shoot straight with you.
RT Secretary of Veteran Affairs, the days of kicking the can down the road are over. We owe America veteran solutions.
You're going to always hear it from me. Well, I got a bit longer message for you today, so just bear with me because you'll want to hear what I'm going to say. The VA has been a punching bag among veterans, Congress, and the media for decades. Things need to change. We owe America's veterans and the hundreds and thousands of excellent VA employees solutions. For many years, veterans...
This is a beautiful thing, but you can tell he's on a green screen with like a photo of the flags behind him. If it's giving Better Call Saul, and then with my cheesy green screen on top of it, this is just fantastic. This is what I live for.
Been asking for a more efficient, accountable, and transparent VA. This administration is finally going to give the veterans what they want. President Trump has a mandate for generational change in Washington, and that's exactly what we're going to deliver at the VA. We're going to make the department work better for the veterans, families, caregivers, and survivors we are charged with serving. And here's how we're going to do it. In response to President Trump's Department of Government Efficiency and Workforce Optimization Initiative, VA is conducting a department-wide review of its organization, operations, and structure. Central to these efforts is a pragmatic and disciplined approach to eliminating waste and bureaucracy, increasing efficiency, and improving health care, benefits, and services to veterans. This will be a thorough and thoughtful review based on input from career VA employees, senior executives, as well as the top VA leaders. Our goal is to reduce VA employment levels to 2019 in-strength numbers, roughly 398,000 employees, from our current level of approximately 470,000 employees. Now that's a 15% decrease. We're going to accomplish this without making cuts to health care or benefits to veterans and VA beneficiaries. VA will always fulfill its duty to provide veterans, families, caregivers, and survivors the health care and benefits they have earned. That's a promise.
There you go. It's a 4-minute video. That's the first minute and a half of it. In other Doge news, weekly credit card update. Pilot program has been expanded to 16 agencies to audit unused and unneeded credit cards. After 2 weeks, 146,000 cards have been deactivated. As a reminder, at the start of this audit, there were 4.6 million active card accounts, so still more work to do. Most transparent. What do we got? Yesterday, the National Institute of Health canceled 7 grants for transgender experiments on animals. What? Including 532,000 to use a mouse model to investigate the effects of cross-sex testosterone treatment, and 33,000 to test feminizing hormone therapy in the male rats. I don't think I need trainee rats. I used to have fancy rats, and they wouldn't have appreciated that. They were they had a lot of family values. See what's going on today at whitehouse.gov. So today on the 5th, we got this, we got that, 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 and that's all today. Capitol Hill highlights key pillars of President Trump's joint address to Congress in op-ed blitz. Last 4 years were a dumpster fire, a total disaster. Sleepy Joe was worn slap out as soon as he got up in the morning. Was worn slap out as he got up in the morning. That's a sentence. Thinking back on it now, I really don't know how our country survived. It's a miracle that we made it through those dark days. One thing for sure, President Trump's address will be nothing like the clown show we endured the last 4 years. Interesting. Statement from the press secretary. Today, President Trump took the time to meet 8 released hostages from Gaza. The president listens intently to their heartbreaking stories. The hostages thank President Trump for his steadfast effort to bring all the hostages home. Ian Horn, Omer Sheretov, Eli Sarababi, Shirabi, Keith Siegel, Aviva Siegel, Nama Levy, Doron Steinbrecher, and Noah Aramani. Welcome back. Felt like I needed to read those names. Yes, Biden spent millions on transgender animal experiments. Yeah, let's look more into this. Last night, President Donald J. Trump highlighted many of the egregious examples of waste, fraud, and abuse funded by the American taxpayer, including $8 million spent by the Biden administration for making mice transgender and rats. The fake news losers at CNN, I love this administration, immediately tried to fact check it, but President Trump was right, as usual. Fact, under the Biden administration, the National Institute of Health doled out millions of dollars of taxpayer funded grants to institutions across the country to platform transgender experiments on mice. 2,500,000 reproductive consequences of steroid hormones, 455,000 a mouse model that tests the effects of gender-affirming hormone therapy on HIV vaccine-induced immune responses, $299,940 on gender-affirming testosterone therapy on breast cancer risk and treatment outcomes, $735,113 microbiome-mediated effects of gender-affirming hormone therapy in mice, $1,200,000 on androgen effects on the reproductive neuroendocrine axis, and $3,100,000 on gonadal hormones as mediators of sex and gender influence in asthma total $8,290,053 of your taxpayer dollars that were stolen from you. Nobody voted for this, but you know who else no one voted for? Elon Musk, who is helping us get some of this money back from you scumbag Democrats that stole it and wasted it on bullshit. And don't think it cost all that to do any of that. This is clearly this money laundering. They make a project. Oh, it's going to cost $50 billion to have Sesame Street in Afghanistan. And like, you look at the video, it's like, I could have shot that for free right now with my laptop. What are we doing? The President and First Lady's message on Ash Wednesday, not DarkDox related. President Trump's historic address captivates America. And he's made a nice little gallery of all the newspaper scans. It's nice. It's cool seeing, like, you don't see print anymore, You can tell, like, they actually scan these in. Very old-timey. I like it. What are they saying? President Trump's masterclass before Congress. Tonight, during his first address of the joint session of Congress in his second term, Trump delivered a powerful master speech highlighting the remarkable accomplishments of his first 6 weeks. Patting himself on the back. He deserves it. He's just a very bold man, I'll say. Everybody that was in attendance. Honoring Jocelyn Nungare. Executive order. By the order invested by the President of the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. The prior administration's immigration policies inexcusably endangered and caused enormous suffering within our nation, including by causing the southern border to be overrun by cartels, criminal gangs, known terrorists, human traffickers, smugglers, unvetted military-age males from foreign adversaries, and illicit narcotics. These open border policies are responsible for the horrific and inexcusable murders of many innocent American citizens at the hands of illegal aliens. One of those innocent victims was Jocelyn Nungare, whose life was tragically cut short on June 17th, 2024, when she was brutally murdered in Houston, Texas. 2 Venezuelan illegal aliens who were allegedly Tren de Agua gang members and were apprehended near the border in early 2024 and then released into the United States by the prior administration, have been charged with her murder. Jocelyn was a precious 12-year-old girl, beloved by her family and friends for her kindness and infectious zeal for life. She loved animals and had a passion for ensuring that they had homes. It is fitting and in the national interest, therefore, that the Anahuac National Wildlife Refuge, a scenic area for coastal wildlife and recreation along the Gulf of America, near Jocelyn's home in Texas, will forever honor and preserve her memory of the beautiful American Jocelyn Nungare. That's very nice. Whoever says he's uncaring, you have to have a heart to consider such things. Democrats showed whose side they are on, and it's not the American people. I mean, watch last night's episode, seriously. Tonight's Democrats refused to applaud the capturing of an ISIS terrorist that masterminded the Abbey Gate attack, a young boy fighting brain cancer, a call to lower taxes for middle-class Americans, Americans joining the military in record numbers, law and order, taking down illegal revenge porn, protecting women's sports, the United States of America. Like, they were literally just chanting USA and they wouldn't stand up. Working together to make America great again, ending the harmful electric vehicle mandate, cutting regulations to unleash American prosperity, ending censorship and bringing back free speech, ending discriminatory diversity, equity, and inclusion, recognizing only two sexes, defeating inflation, unleashing America's energy, ending waste, fraud, abuse in government, ending taxes on tips, overtime, and seniors' Social Security. I'm shocked that they ever even took taxes out of Social Security. It's disgusting. You paid into it. Hello. Bringing manufacturing home to America, securing historic investments in American chip manufacturing, removing illegal alien killers, rapists, and drug dealers from our streets, securing our border, declaring a brutal Tren de Agua gang as foreign terrorist organization, waging war on deadly cartels trafficking deadly drugs into our country, punishing cop killers with the death penalty. We need to do a lot more than just cop killers, like pedophiles and treasonous traitors of this country. Promoting health and wellness amongst Americans. Make America healthy again. Protecting our kids from radical gender ideology. Ending the sexual mutilation of America's youth. The return of American Mark Fogel. Declaring America's youth are perfect as God made them. Amen. Ending wokeness in the military, restoring America's shipbuilding, a student getting accepted to West Point, improving America's defenses, and we're going to have a golden dome, pursuing peace in Ukraine. O'Keefe Media Group and Andy Nigo investigate East London Mosque, expose radicalization, state-funded asylum housing, and demographic shifts driving security risks across London.
Okay, so we're here in London on Whitechapel Street, and we're gonna walk down the street with Andy No, and we're gonna try to expose what's going on here with the Islamic extremism. And we're not going to have any bias, and we're not going to make any presumptions, and we're going to walk to the mosque. Here we go. You were mentioning to me that a couple 100,000 Muslims live here.
We are in the neighborhood of Whitechapel, which is in the borough of Tower Hamlets. Tower Hamlets has the highest concentration of Muslims anywhere in the UK. And this has been reflected in the last two census that was taken, most recently in 2021. About 40% of this population is Muslim, primarily from Bangladesh.
This booth house, what is that? What is booth house? Is it like projects?
You'll probably speak to the man.
Where are you from? Sudan? Do you go to the mosque across the street to pray? To the mosque to pray? Yeah. Is this the public housing?
Yeah.
This is the public.
Oh, you're asylum seeker. Yeah.
This is the public housing for asylum seekers. This is funded by the government? Oh yeah. Are you asylum seekers? Asylum? Yes? Oh, I'm just a tourist. Yeah, I'm just a tourist.
Yeah, it's not allowed.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I was getting kicked out here. So we got kicked out by the woman at the public housing, asylum housing. She's like, you're not allowed to talk to them. I don't understand that. Why would she kick me out like that? I was just standing on a public sidewalk.
This is also like the case in New York. You know, you have these state-funded handlers who try to limit the press's ability to record on what's happening with the migrants and the migrant centers.
So you're not allowed to just stand on a street and talk to these migrants?
You can, but the handlers will come out and tell you to move along, or they'll tell the migrants to come out. I have, yeah.
The handlers will come out and just tell you to move along. Wow.
We're drawing a lot of attention. There's 5 guys following us.
What should we do?
And they're watching everything we're doing.
What should we do?
Just keep walking.
There can be a distrust of outsiders.
Well, we're just walking on the sidewalk. Right? Keep discreet with the GoPro. Be discreet with the GoPro. So what is all this here?
This is a bazaar, the open market. And You know, the changes here all demographically, culturally happen non-violently. It happened pretty quick. Yeah, people have in their mind images of sort of a violent takeover. It's not like that. It's like the area was sort of just ceded in a way. One population replaced another. And this used to be a white working class area in East London. The acceleration really started throughout the 90s.
I feel like we're in a different country.
Yeah.
I mean, not London.
Here, it's more likely that you'll see a flag for Palestine than the Union. As you walk around here, the lifestyle is completely different. The dress styles are different. Women, lots of them are in black robes. They have their faces covered. It looks like scenes from a Gulf Arab country, you could argue. Discussing issues like radical Islam and mass migration and integration issues, it's just something that
you don't do.
Yes, the British public are generally uninterested in, but after the number of terror attacks that have happened here, the number of British nationals of immigrant background or immigrant families who have joined Islamic State and carried out attacks. I mean, back in 2017, there were so many attacks here. The Manchester Arena bombing, where that was an Ariana Grande concert. There were all these stabbing attacks in London, car ramming attacks on the bridge. The attacks that happened right at Parliament as well. And the thing is, if people speak up, the state goes after those people.
People who speak up.
Yeah, there were people who were convicted and sentenced to jail time for their posts on social media. Wow. So there's been a certain phenomenon that's happened with Muslims who have migrated to Western countries.
So yeah, this is happening worldwide. Whether it's London, Scotland, this is happening all over the country, all over the world. So it's really important that we document this phenomenon so we can see the parallels. Just an illegal alien from Honduras responsible for killing a Pinellas County police officer in a hit and run is sentenced to 12 years in prison, and the 20 years prosecutors demanded. Juan Molina Salas entered the country illegally in October of 2021 in Eagle Pass, Texas.
An undocumented immigrant who killed a Pinellas County deputy will serve almost a decade in prison, not counting time served.
Hello,
Less than
Holistic
2
Empire.
hours ago, a judge sentenced Juan Molina Salas for the deadly 2022 hit and run. Juan Molina Salas pleaded guilty last month to killing Deputy Michael Hartwick. He'll be deported back to Honduras after he serves his sentence. An undocumented immigrant who...
There you have it. MSNBC ghoul on 13-year-old with brain cancer. Let's hope he doesn't have to battle Trump supporters or commit suicide. Yeah, this clip. Oh boy. Let's see, is it over here? Yeah. This is something else.
But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ, and I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people. But I think this was...
It's like they can't see something as nice as what Trump did for that child, and making a special moment. She has to make it about January 6th. It's disgusting. What's her name again? Nicole Wallace. Scumbag. If you haven't seen it, watch yesterday's episode. U.S. seizes intelligence sharing with Ukraine, ceases intelligence sharing with Ukraine, hindering strikes against Russia. Clamping down. Like that picture. Oh. If you like what we do and you're on Cash App, scan that and buy me a chicken dinner. At darkdox.me/shop, we got all kinds of cool stuff. We got projectors, we got MP4 players, thumb drives, we got buttons, we got vinyl records, vinyl stickers, t-shirts, Blu-rays, comic books, shop rags, posters, and much more. We're going to be adding some more stuff this week. I know I keep saying it. I'm very busy. I'm also affiliate of thealexjonesstore.com/darkdox. If you use that URL, I get 10% of whatever you get, so I greatly appreciate it to help me do what I do here. Right now, every dollar you spend is 10x entries into a raffle to win both of these guys right here. They got a Ford Bronco 4x4 and a Jeep Rubicon, plus $20,000 in cash. They've already given away 2 trucks. They're not messing around. I just got the Sheila Jit Complex. I'm on day 2 of it. Feeling good. Energy. Really all of the stuff. I'm on the CMOS capsules. I had... a little bit, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I felt a little under the weather. Took an atomic defense with all of that, and I was back. Oh, they got some new shirts. Don't tell us what we're gonna feel. Trump with sunglasses on, very cute. Very demure. No one's doing that anymore. I kind of want to get an Infowars mug, but I'm more of a thermos guy. The Infowars 7076 dagger has been sold out, but they still have biggest balls and big balls hats. So check out all of that shit over here at thealexjonesstore.com/darkdox. Breaking: insane trans cult policies in Virginia allowed registered sex offender to enter high school locker rooms where he freely exposed himself to women and young girls. He looks like that character from House of a Thousand Corpses, doesn't he? Let's see what's going on here.
All right, you're going to want to pay attention to this because it really is stunning. A registered child sex offender facing 20 charges now for allegedly exposing himself multiple times to women and young girls in locker rooms at high schools across Arlington County, Virginia. And the area's transgender policies may have paved the way for him to do it.
Oh my God, look at him. You talk about a ghoul. It's like Grimer Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings. Guess what his name is?
Ugh.
Dick Cox.
Oh, come on.
Richard Cox. Well, you know something's wrong if your parents name you Dick Cox. That'd be like if you got named Willie Johnson. That's double. That's hilarious. But this isn't funny. My God, this is a sick cult. It's all about seeing what they can get us to put up with. And if they can't legalize pedophilia, they'll legalize brainwashing your kid, taking them away, and chopping their genitals off. This is a satanic hellraiser cult.
Yeah. Another machete attack in French metro station. Machetes seem to be becoming the weapon of choice in European street fighting these days. It's a classic. A brawl broke out amongst a group of men at the Bagatelle metro station in the city of Toulouse in southern France last Saturday, which featured this weapon. Let's watch. Wow. Oh my God. Just shoot all of them. Anybody that acts like this, there is no fixing that. This is a cultural virus. These people are just insane. And these aren't isolated incidents. This is happening all over the place. More than ever. Makes my blood boil. African on trial for stabbing female in France. A migrant in Mauritania is on trial in France this week for stabbing a female co-worker 17 times with a butcher knife after being incessantly sexually harassed by the subject. The charge is attempted murder. The accused, who is now 50, is now identified as Boulay M, and he is facing life in prison. Let's see what this guy looks like. You got a picture?
Tu veux pas me laisser tranquille? Oh, c'est rigolo de filmer. Hein. Moi aussi je peux le faire. Hein. C'est le harcèlement, je peux porter plainte pour ça. Ça c'est pour vous dire.
Can you report you to the police being fun to film?
Non, mais fous-moi la paix en fait.
Leave me alone.
Va là-bas, fous-moi la paix.
Go over here, give me a break. It's good over there, okay?
Merci.
Et là, tu viens tout bleu sur le there you'll come all black and blue, huh? You all blue from the cause in the ocean. I like it.
Je comprends pas ce
I don't
que tu
understand what you're saying.
Je comprends pas ce que tu dis.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Attends, il est 8h du
I
matin,
can't get any peace at 8 o'clock in the morning. There's always one guy giving me trouble. The woman is being harassed. The organization focuses on threat to women due to mass migration of men from cultures that repress and abuse women. The victim said before she began filming, the man asked her if she wanted to fuck him. Listen, before that, good morning, it's already something. Dude, you've clearly been pissing me off for the last 10 minutes. No, I'm not. Don't tell me I'm pissing you off. Look, this guy is drinking a beer at 10 a.m. A clearly drunk migrant identified as... I hate these kind of videos. Anyway. Looks like he went on to stab her. Well, that was weird. An African migrant confessed to the French police that he wanted to slit the throats of white women. The suspect stabbed a woman in the back in Bordeaux while she was out jogging. He also raped another woman the same day. In 2023, he strangled another woman. Death penalties. It's that simple. These people do not need to draw breath. And if you disagree with me, maybe you belong dead too, because, I mean, this needs to stop. Anybody that supports and aids in the beds of any of these crimes deserves the same penalty. Elisa Slotkin Reagan rolling in his grave over Zelensky's Oval Office disputes. So, brother. Do I care? It's short.
Because here's the thing. Today's world is deeply interconnected. migration, cyber threats, AI, environmental destruction, terrorism. One nation cannot face these issues alone. We need friends in all corners, and our safety depends on it. President Trump loves to say peace through strength. That's actually a line he stole from Ronald Reagan. But let me tell you, after the spectacle that...
Okay. He didn't steal it from Ronald Reagan. It's an homage. It's giving honor to Ronald Reagan, as well as Make America Great Again. I mean, it's not like Joe Biden's like, oh, I came up with Build Back Better.
That just took place in the Oval Office last week, Reagan must be rolling in his grave. We all want an end to the war in Ukraine, but Reagan understood that true strength required America to combine our military and economic might with moral clarity. And that scene in the Oval Office wasn't just a bad episode of reality TV. It summed up Trump's whole approach to the world. He believes in cozying up to dictators like Vladimir Putin and kicking our friends like the Canadians in the teeth. He sees American leadership as merely a series of real estate transactions. As a Cold War kid, I'm thankful it was Reagan and not Trump in office in the 1980s. Trump would have lost us the Cold War. Donald Trump's actions suggest that in his heart, he doesn't believe we're an exceptional nation. He clearly doesn't think we should lead the world. Look, America is not perfect, but I stand with the majority of Americans who believe we are still exceptional, unparalleled. And I would rather have American leadership over Chinese or Russian leadership any day of the week.
Well, the Americans chose Trump, lady. Whoever you are. Breaking: top terrorist behind Abbey Gate bombing that killed 13 U.S. servicemen extradited and now in FBI custody. America is once again standing on its own forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, but it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Debatable. President Trump announces that Mohammed Shurafeh, the ISIS terrorist who orchestrated the Abbey Gate attack, is on his way to the United States to face justice.
He is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Yes. That time you delivered a sword of justice to the American people. Kash Patel. No. Should follow Kash. Petulant Democrats turned their backs on Trump, displaying the word resist before walking out on his speech.
Previous administration do a good job.
Very cute. Okay. And, I got some stuff on the edge. Nancy Pelosi angry over Trump's EO banning men from women's sports.
Women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race, 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women. and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer.
Oh, I'm so mad those trannies don't get to... Whoa, what's going on here? How do I... What? I did something weird. Oh, I see.
Introducing the Ungun,
Oh
the
my
non-lethal self-defense platform. Lightweight and simple to use. It uses an easy-to-load...
I moved something around on the OBS, and now everything's in a weird place. Oh boy. Okay. I think I fixed it. Yes. No, I don't want the audio mixer. Can I have it over here? I'll fix it later. All right. What else we got? Unhinged Democrat Al Green speaks after getting kicked out of the chamber, wants to impeach Trump again. These people just look like cartoon scumbags.
And I was making it clear to the president that he has
This audio.
to say that people in my country who uses his incivility against our civility.
Your audio sucks, so I'm not going to play it. And you suck. So there you go. All right. And that about does it. We do this every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at youtube.com/Sacred Owls. If you're on X, it's Sacred Owls Unite. We upload to BitChute. I do apologize. Last night's episode was too long for BitChute. It was too big of a file. So I might be breaking it up into segments if possible. Actually, give it up for Data Battle Z for doing our intros and our shorts. If you could split this yesterday's episode in like half, that might be cool. Throw it on the what do they call that? The cloud on Dropbox. Rumble.com/DarkDox. TheAlexJonesStore.com/DarkDox. DarkDox.me/shop. Cash.app/DarkDox. And Facebook.com/Christian X Coffins. That about does it for today, right at 8:59. So I'll bring down the display capture and enjoy some outer space. And let Data Battle Z blast off to wherever he's from. Pew! And it's time to go back down to SeaWorld. Want to ride a roller coaster? I got to do it this weekend. That was nice. I hope you guys have a good Wednesday night. And as I always say, beware, take care, bye-bye.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Christian Coffins.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. If you value this program, donate what you can at cash.app/DarkDox. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox.
Digest.